everybody, welcome back again. Right, do we know what this stitch is? It's the mini bean stitch, but worked from corner to corner. Again, as I mentioned before, I love corner to corner because I can decide what I want to do as I go along. No stitch count involved as such. This makes a lovely fabric. This is done in DK yarn, lightweight number 3, and a 6mm crochet hook. Now if you're going for, you can do this in any yarn and any hook. I would go up a couple of hook sizes because we're wrapping the yarn round twice for a mini bean, and you know, you want to keep a little bit of spacing. I don't know whether you can see. Absolutely pretty, this one. I do love the mini bean stitch. And again, I'll show you a very easy way of doing this. You can grab a couple of stitch markers if you prefer to put your stitch markers on the ends while we're chaining 2 on the ends. But if we're using a larger hook, you can quite clearly see the spacing, but get some handy just in case. And yeah, this is done in a lovely vanilla cream. Hope you can see it. Absolutely wonderful for baby blankets. You can make, if you want to go a couple of sizes, hooks. If you want to go for a smaller hook, you can. It will make it a lot more tighter if you want to make for cushion covers. But for baby blanket or any blanket, I recommend number 6 hook, sorry, 6mm hook and lightweight yarn. So let's crack on with this one. I'll move this one to the side. I'm going to use this lovely baby blue, and it's Baby Dream. This is what we can get here in the UK, and it does tell me to use a 4mm for this one, but as mentioned before, you go a couple of sizes higher for a bean stitch. Let's begin. I will zoom you in a little bit. Is that about right? Yes, it is. Grab your 6mm crochet hook. You can do a little bit with me, see how you feel about it. I will show you how to do this in a very small square. So do your slip knot however you do your slip knot. Okay, just move my coffee aside. Sorry if you can hear any noise. I think someone's having some work done, or they could be vacuuming their car. I'm not sure. I can hear something, but I can't see something. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is chain 3. If you don't know how to do a slip knot and chain, I do have individual videos listed. If you cannot understand what I'm saying or difficulties in what I'm saying, then please put captions on or subtitles, and do slow me down and zoom me in however you wish to get the to see exactly what I'm doing. So on the very last stitch here, we're going to go into that chain, and we're going to do a mini bean. And the way to do a mini bean is you never yarn over first, okay? Just go straight into that stitch, pull up a loop, then yarn over, and then go same again and pull up a loop and pull through all 4. That's your first bean. Then you want to chain 2, and this is what I meant about the chaining 2. If you want to put your stitch marker, go wrap it around the chain 2, so you can quite easily see your chain 2 on the side. Okay, once you chain 2, flip your work, and you want to go now. For the first one, it's a bit tricky, so just go into that space there and do a mini bean. So go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go in again and pull up a loop, pull through all 4 and chain 1. There's that chain 2 for me. You want to put your hook into that chain 2 that we missed, pull up a loop, go in again, pull up a loop, pull through all 4, chain 1, and then go into the same section again, this chain 2 space. If you want to mark it, please go ahead and mark it, and pull through all 4. So the way that we're doing this pattern is that on the end we increase. So once into the chain 2, we do a bean, chain 1 and a bean. Let's do the next one. It doesn't look very even at the moment, but trust me. Chain 2 and flip your work. Okay. Now let me just grab a needle. This is one to show you here. When you're going into the bean stitch, if I just split my work here, that might look like the bean to you, which it is, and then there's a space here. Now that space is actually part of this bean. Can you see this little line coming down here? You want to work this side of it. You want to put your hook here. So this little strand that you see here on every bean, push that to that side, because that is actually part of that. Okay, so it will be here. So if we look again at the next one, you can see the strand coming down. Don't go into that hole, go into the one on this side. That is all part of that bean. I'll show you as I go along. That's the only tricky bit really. So you've chained 2. I want to go into that space there, so I'm going to move that along onto the side, onto my right side, and then go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in again and pull up a loop and pull through all 4, chain 1. I'm on to my next one. Automatically you'd think, oh, let's go in there. It's not there, it's on this side. So make sure that the little bit that you can always see at the back of a bean, it's onto your opposite side. You've pushed it aside, sorry, and then gone in. Yarn over, go in again, pull through all 4, chain 1. Now here is our last bean, and you want to go into that, chain 2 there. Pull up a loop, go in, pull up a loop again, pull through 2, chain 1, and then go into that chain 2 space again. Oh, I yarned over by accident. Now it might look like a fan to you, but do not worry. Chain 2, go into that space and do a mini bean. Mini bean will now be, I'll just call it mini bean, but basically it's going into the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarning over, going in again. Once you've got the 4 loops, pull through all 4, chain 1. There's one there, chain 1, and like I said, if we move bean aside, we have a chain 2 here. The chain 2 does get a bit squished up, but you can pop your hook into there, and into that very last chain 2 on the side, you do a bean, chain 1, and another bean. So you're only increasing on the ends. Chain 2 and flip your work. Go into your first space, do your bean, chain 1, go in again, do your bean, chain 1, do that all the way across. It's just the first couple of rows that you might find a bit tricky, but you can see, look, you can quite see the pattern forming now before you might think, okay, what on earth is going on here? There's the next one. Chain 1, and then go into the chain 2 space on the side here. Oh, did I go into the right chain 2 space? Yes, I did. And do a bean, plus 1, and then another bean on the end. chain 2, flip your work, go into the first one. Remember what I said? There's your bean, but you want that to be on this side. Chain 1 and do the same all the way across, doing a bean stitch and chaining 1 and going into that chain 1 space, not the actual bean. When you get to the end, go right to the side. I can see them, but you can mark yours. Do your bean, chain 1, go in again, chain 2. Every end is a bean, chain 1 and another bean. Chain 2, go into the first chain 1 space, do a bean and carry on doing that and chaining 1 in between. Oops, excuse me. Last chain 2 space, bean, chain 1 and another bean, chain 2. Can you see it forming now? Do another row with you and then I'll show you how to decrease. So after you've chained 2, go straight into your chain 1 space and do your bean, chain 1. Do your bean and chain 1, so you can quite clearly see that now. It's always on this side. So there we are again. Don't go in there, go on this side. So I can push mine aside and I know it's there, but you go ahead and use your stitch marker if you can't see them. Okay, that's how we increase. So we increase on that end. So we chain 2, go into the very first chain space, chains that we did, sorry, for the previous row. Go in and do your beans, chaining 1 in between. When you get to the end of your 2 chains that we make on every row, go into that chain 2 space and do a bean, chain 1 and a bean. Now we want to decrease. So chain 2 and flip your work. Miss the entirety of the first bean and the chain 1. Go into the second one and do your bean. So miss the first one completely and go into the second one and do your bean. That will start making the work go up. Chain 1 and then do as you normally do. Okay, when you get to here, normally on the increase in the chain 2 we do a bean, chain 1 and a bean. We are just doing 1. Are we doing 1? Let me just double check. Yes. So just the 1, no increase now. Do 1 mini bean, chain 2, flip your work, Miss that one you've just done, and then go into the second one and do your mini bean. So you're missing the first one in the beginning, and you're only doing one on the end. Bear with me, papers are sliding everywhere. There's my chain 2 on the side here, and just do 1. Okay, 1 bean, chain 2, turn your work over. Miss that one, go straight into the next one. Of course not here, but here. You can see, can't see so much at the moment, but that's going that way now, and this one's going up. There's chain 2, just do the 1 and then chain 2. Miss your first one, there's your second bean, go into the second bean and do 1 bean and chain 1. There's the chain 2 space there now. Just go into there and do 1. Chain 2. Miss the first one, there's your second bean. Push that to the side and then do your bean into there. And there's your chain 2 space here. And chain 2. Miss that one, there's your second one. Go into the second one and do your bean. Chain 1. And again to the next one. Chain 1 and then go into that chain 2 space and do 1. Just got that little corner to do there now. Chain 1, flip your work, miss your first one, go into your second one and do your mini bean. Chain 1, go into chain 2 space. Chain 2. Now we've got one here and then we've got the chain 2 space. Just making sure that I have done that right. Chain 2, and then you've got nothing to skip. You've just got the 1 bean and this space here. Go into there, do a bean stitch, and then go back into it and do a slip stitch. Oh no, do apologise. I didn't need to do that last round. Okay, sorry. Yeah, once you've done your bean stitch there, and then just slip stitch, sorry. when you have, let me just show you this slowly. You've chained 2 and you flipped your work. When you are just left with this one and this one, which we skip because we are going straight into the end. So if you're left with a bean stitch here and a bean stitch here and you chain 2, just go into your chain 2 and do your mini bean, and then go back into there again and then just slip stitch there to close off the work. Okay, that's a mini square. Hope that makes sense. And that's how it looks. You can make little squares if you wish, join them up to make other things, but a blanket in this will be absolutely adorable. Let me bring in the bigger piece and zoom you up. Here we go. Corner to corner. Where's the corner? There it is. Ooh, like that. That's where we started from. And we've worked. So you can go as big as you want. And of course you'll have a lovely border around this as well. This is your corner to corner. Bean stitch. Okay guys, hope you like this tutorial as well. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, and also share this to anyone who wants to give this a go. You may think it's a little bit complicated. I think if you just put in your, when you do your chain 2s, if you put in your markers on each side, then you should be all right. I didn't use any markers, maybe I should have done, but every time you chain 2, put your marker around the stitch. I'm just looking for my marker, I can't see anywhere. And yeah, and then not into the stitch, just into that actual spacing, so you know where to put your last stitch in. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon.